Hi, this instructional video is a continuation on the systems of linear equations. This time we're going to use it to solve a word problem. In this case, we have, in a classroom, a bottle of 5% boric acid solution. If you read carefully, it tells you a percentage of a solution, the acid, but it doesn't tell you how much the solution is. So we could represent that as X. And then there's another bottle of 2% boric acid solution. But again, it doesn't tell you what the second one is either, the total volume that is. And we call that Y, let's say. And then it says you need a total of 60 milliliters. So that means if we add X, the first unknown solution, and the second unknown solution, we should end up with 60 milliliters of a total solution, of which 3% of that is boric acid. And the question is, how much do you need of this and that one to be mixed together? So there's a many combination of what these can be. It could be 10, 50, which will become 60, 20 or 40, which will become 60. And so to figure out the exact amount, we use the system's linear equation. Here's what it says. The 5% of the first solution, which we don't know, so we could say that's 5% of that unknown X. And then the second one is 2% of the second one, so plus 2% of the unknown second bottle. And together, we do know what the mixture should be is 60 milliliters, and of that, 3%. So 3% of the 60 milliliters. You see the way it's set up? The top is the total volume of solutions, and the bottom represents all the portions in which is an acid solution. And so we end up with the two linear equations. So if I write this up as a systems of linear equation, it can be written as X plus Y is equal to 60. And this can be written as 0.05x, because it's 5%, remember? Decimal places 2 to the left. Plus, that'll be 0.02y, and that's going to be 0.03 times 60. And so, now if we simplify this even further, we end up with X plus Y is equal to 60. 0.05x, 0.02y is equal to 1.8. And check this out. What I'm going to do is take the first equation and make it into a function form in function of x, meaning solve it for y. And you could already kind of guess what I am planning to do. It's not in standard form, it doesn't matter. What does y equal? Well, it equals 60 minus x. And what I'm going to do with that is to take that y, which equals 60 minus x, and substitute it into that y. So I'm using the substitution method. So now, if I go ahead and continue the computation here, we end up with 0.05x plus 0.02y, but y is 60 minus x equals 1.8. Distributive property. So we end up with 0.05x plus 0.02 times 60 is 1.2. And 0.02 times negative x is negative 0.02x is equal to 1.8. Now combine the like term. 0.05x minus 0.02x is 0.03x plus 1.2 is equal to 1.8. And we're going to subtract 1.2 from both sides of the equation to continue to solve for x. We end up with, because the 1.2's cancel, 0.03x is equal to 0.6. Oh, look at that. Look how pretty it comes out. Divide the coefficient 0.03 to both sides of the equation. Be careful now with the decimal places, okay? Since this is like saying 0.03 goes into 0.6, the base 10 rule says I could move this twice. That means I have to move this twice. Okay, so 3 goes into 60 20 times. Hey, one of my guesses was correct. I said 20 and 40. So the total volume, the total solution in the bottle, first bottle, is 20. So X is 20. Then 20 plus what is 60? Well, the second bottle has to be a total of 40 milliliters. And that's how you find the unknown volumes in a mixture problems. So now you try this one. In this case, just like the last example, the top was always the volume. And in this case, it's always about the number of shoes. So here's what we have. A store sold 28 pairs. Well, that's what they sold total. So total, I don't know what they sold of style A, and I don't know what they sold for style B, how many. I know how much each pair is, but I don't know how many total it was sold. But whatever the type A or style A and style B was sold together, they sold a total of 28 pairs. You see the pattern here? And of the total number of style A that was sold, each pair is $70. So that's 70x. So let's call that X. Then this must be the style of B. I like the X and Y. So instead of saying A and B, I'll say X and Y. And so the second pair, second style, sells for $90 for each pair. And together, they sold 28 pairs at a total of $20. So I'm going to use the substitution method again. But as you can see, if you really wanted to, you could use a linear combination. For example, you could multiply to the top equation by -70. Because the 70s will cancel. But you'll have a horrific, huge amount of number, a big number to deal with. So I wouldn't want to do that. So let's deal with this one then. Take the first equation again because it seems easier, and I'm going to make it into a function of x. So x plus y is equal to 28. I'm going to move the x over. If you wanted to, you could move the y over and make it into a function of y. So whatever the x equals, you could put that in here, but I just prefer it this way. So in this case, x and x cancels. So y is equal to 28 minus x. I'm not concerned about whether this looks like a standard form or slope-intercept form or not. I just want to make it to x, y equals to something. Because I'm going to take that now, y equals 28 minus x, and substitute it into that y. So what I end up getting, if I rewrite it, is 70x plus 90y, but y is 28 minus x. And that has to equal a total of 2220. To do the distributive property, I get 70x plus, let's see, 90 times 28 is 72 with a 0 and 18 with a 0. So I get 2520. So 2520 minus 90x is equal to 2220. Combine the like terms, 70x and negative 90x become negative 20x plus 2520 equals 2220. Now don't be concerned with the negative number, because once we subtract the 2520, which is the bigger number of the two constants, we will also end up with the negative integer on the right side, which will be in this case what, 300? And it's a negative. And when we divide the coefficient negative 20, negative becomes positive eventually. So negative 20s cancel on the left side. So the dividend 300, the divisor 20 goes into 300 once and 5 times. So the style A, or in this case style X, the first style, which sells for 70 per pair, this store sold 15 of them. So if there's a 28 total pairs sold and the first style 15 was sold, The difference is 13. And so the style B, 13 of them were sold. I hope this makes sense. Good luck with your mixture problem.